My name's David Crompton. My wife, Kathleen, suffers from COPD. She occasionally, because of her complaint, gets a very severe chest infection. Sometimes this is treated with oral antibiotics, but occasionally she's had to go into hospital for intravenous antibiotic. During the course of the last August bank holiday weekend, she was on a course of intravenous antibiotic. And because of the bank holiday weekend, we were sent to Ansdell Medical Centre. We were the only patients. We were advised that my wife's appointments would be at 8:30 and 4:30. We were advised to telephone the number at Ansdell Medical Centre. On the Sunday afternoon for the 4:30 appointment, we arrived 4:25 or thereabouts. We telephoned the number and got no response. I went to explore the building to try and find entrance. And the back door, perhaps called the staff entrance, was open. It turned out it was faulty. It should have been locked, but wasn't. My wife and I gained access to the building. We were in the waiting area. My wife went through to the treatment room. There was nobody there, just my wife and I, and absolutely nobody else. I thought this was a bit strange, and my wife said it's a bit like the Marie Celeste. So I stood in the middle of the waiting area of Ansdell Clinic and I shouted. I have a loud voice. I was a senior NCO in the armed forces. I gained absolutely no response. After waiting for a few more minutes, I decided to go and see if I could find somebody. I tried the treatment room. My wife had told me already there was nobody there. I tried various doors, perhaps to consulting rooms, I'm not too sure. They were locked. But eventually I found a door that was open, or at least unlocked. It was the door to the stairs. So I went up the stairs, and into the first room I could get into. It appeared to be a kitchen. I thought, well, this is okay. If I have to wait any longer, I'll make a brew. I thought I could hear a radio. There was voices, an appeal of laughter, which sort of half convinced me that it was a radio, but I discovered there was a second door, which I tried, and it was open, and it was into what I will call the general office. There were 4 or 5 nurses, and the one sat nearest to the door said, "Oh, who are you? How did you get in?" I explained that I'd got in through the door because that was a skill I'd learnt at about 5 years of age. And she said, "What do you want?" I said, "Well, I don't particularly want anything, but my wife's downstairs waiting for a 4:30 appointment for an intravenous antibiotic." She said, "Absolutely nothing to do with me." I said, "Well, okay, then I'll go and do it myself." She says, "No, you want her," indicating down the length of the office, to a nursing sister who was sat at the far end. She asked me who I was, so I told her. And she says, "I'll be down in a minute." I said, No, you'll be down now. You've already kept us waiting 15 minutes. So with a bit of a grump, she followed me down the stairs. My wife and the sister went into the treatment room. My wife received her treatment. We left at approximately 5:15. She tried to explain to me the problems of being short-staffed and being called out hither and yon to other treatments. I said to her, I don't think that's the case because there's no patients about. It was a bank holiday. So she promised that she'd make some inquiries and let me know within the 5 working days. She gave me a telephone number, which strangely enough was the urgent response number, which I thought was a little bit ironic. On the following Friday, the senior sister phoned, and she explained that she'd made some sort of inquiries. During the course of this telephone conversation, I asked her what action she was going to take against the staff that were not actually present at the due appointed time. She said she'd made a mental note of it. This phrase in itself was enough to spur me on to making a formal complaint, which is what I did.